The Stars and Stripes show is brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
I'm good, thank you.
In Setswana, we say mafoko amatlong, so that means you need to talk. You need to look at me.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for coming through and obviously talking to us about this very important topic, which is safe male circumcision. Let's just start there with what really is safe male circumcision.
Thank you. Yeah, safe male circumcision, locally known, is as well globally known as the voluntary medical male circumcision. Mm-hmm. And this is the surgical removal of the foreskin or the skin covering the head or the glands of the penis, and being done by a trained and competent professional.
Yeah. And we also want to know about, the benefits of it. Why is it so important to do it?
Yeah, thank you so much. There are a range of benefits of safe male circumcision as known in the country. And the benefits include, there are individual benefits. One of them is prevention against acquisition of HIV, which is the main mandate of our scale up and its support. But however, there are other benefits. These include protection against STI. Mm-hmm. Those are sexually transmitted infections. And in specific here, we refer to what we call the ulcerative STIs, including chancroid and syphilis. Mm-hmm. And then there is the human papillomavirus, which we know now is associated with a number of cancers. The other benefits include the reduction of UTIs, that is urinary tract infections, mm-hmm. predominantly in the lower age group. There is protection against the penile cancer, that is the cancer of the penis. Other benefits include treatment and preventions of conditions which is associated with the foreskin or the skins which are covering the head of the penis. And this includes phimosis, that is where a person is not able to retract the foreskin. And then the other one is the paraphimosis. If we retract the foreskin, the skin is not able to flap back.
Yeah.
And the others are what we call genital warts. These are conditions which are usually associated with the foreskin. The other benefits include conditions, treatment and prevention of conditions like balanitis. That is the inflammation of the glands, that is the head of the penis, which involves usually the foreskin. And then importantly, is the benefit of hygiene. When the foreskin has been removed, there is ease in maintaining hygiene.
Yeah. Now,
the other benefits to the partner. In this, it has been proven that male circumcision protects against cervical cancer. Remember, I talked about the human papillomavirus, mm-hmm. and it has been known to be the cause of cervical cancer. So that's why we promote that. But as well, on the public health level, we know that as many as males who are circumcised and protected against HIV, there are general benefits in terms of reducing onto the infection, and as well cost effectiveness in terms of reduction of expenditure to treatment. We know lifetime treatment on ART. These are some of the benefits which usually come with male circumcision. Thank you.
I always listen to, conversations around safe male circumcision, and I must say the benefits are quite a lot. And they're convincing even, but it's amazing how we find ourselves having to, even talk about the myths, common myths or barriers, something that is very common in our communities. Some people don't want to do it because they've heard somebody say, apparently they manufacture a Vaseline with our foreskins. You know what I mean? These are some of the things that you hear out there in our community. So what are some of the common myths and barriers around safe male circumcision?
Yeah, their range, I would do, if possible, request my other colleague to come through.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, before your colleague comes through, let me just quickly do this and then we'll continue on the other side of this. It's just gone 11:12. All right, welcome back here on the Stars and Stripes show. Happens every single Friday between 11 and 12 o'clock on the brunch show. By the way, it's just gone 11:14. It's a jam-packed show. We already started our conversation with Dr. Ronald Wandira. And of course, look out for your partner spotlight. Definitely ask the acting ambassador is coming your way. Chasing the dream, and definitely going to wrap up with taking your phone calls. 14962 is the SMS line, 3956962. That's our studio line. We're also available on WhatsApp at +267 3956962. Doctor, I know you did say that you want to, take it to Mr. Kabela. I'll definitely introduce him on the other side, but let's just wrap it up with you. Let's speak to, some of the common myths and, barriers around safe male circumcision.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Aone. There are a number of barriers we have identified in this implementation of the program, and these are barriers we have picked up from the community. Some of the barriers which have come up is the fear of the anticipated pain. We know that is a surgical intervention, although there are processes which are put in place to manage this. Usually what we do, we provide anesthesia, that is the numbness of the operation area before the procedure. And then as well, we also give the painkillers, of which by the time the drugs wear away, we are already setting in terms of the painkillers. And the other barrier which we have identified is the fear of the anticipated loss from earnings. And we know that a number of the target population are wage earners. So this usually comes up as a concern. And what we have tried to do around this is to customize the service where we do have off-peak hours, where you can be able to access the service either after hours or over the weekends. And then there is an issue of lack of beneficiency. What happens here is that we encounter couples who would say we are in a very close relationship where we don't anticipate the issues of HIV coming into play. But however, there are other benefits which we have outlined which would come as a result of the benefit for the procedure. And then there is the uncertainty whereby they are the concern to say who is conducting the procedure. Are they competent in providing the procedure? And as I've outlined above, we have always endeavored to ensure that we trained all the providers and ensure that they are very competent before we allow them to do the procedures. And then there is also anticipated shame. A number of the males, the adult males, usually come out and indicate how they perceive me getting the procedure now. Why did it happen before? So, we really take care of this because, as I indicated, we are able to provide the services even during off-peak hours, such that anybody is able to come in, even under the circumstances of where he's not able to be exposed to those who would be affecting his access. And then there's also the element of distrust, whereby some males indicate to say, if I undergo the procedure, then my partner might perceive to say probably there are things which are happening outside or behind my back. And this is where we always encourage as well, the couple education and counseling, whereby if one feels that he's uncomfortable in coming through for the procedure, because of that, we always encourage them and accommodate them to come with the partner, and we will be able to communicate to them accordingly. The number of myths which we have picked up from the community as we are implementing, some of them indicate that we have the foreskin. What about if a condition comes later on in the future which requires the foreskin? Truly, the issue is that before the conditions come up in the future, probably HIV could have taken you up. So it's better at the moment to protect yourself and ensure that you are healthy in order to transition to the future where really your ambition are. There are other also myths which we are encountering in the community, where there are issues to say if I undergo circumcision, probably it will affect the size of my penis. it may become small or even shorter. And these were really communicating by encountering that in the circumcision process, we usually remove the skin and we don't usually affect the stature or the structure of the place of the penis. So the penis size will always remain the same, and that is usually handled that way. And then the other one which comes out, issues to safer and become meat from circumcised as don't I become infertile later on. We are only dealing with the foreskin, and we don't interfere with as I indicated, with the rest of the structure of the penis, which is responsible for the reproductive process. So there is no effect or interference with the reproductive process of the client. There is also an issue of loss of sensitivity, and as we have indicated, is that we usually remove the foreskin and don't interfere with the rest of the other organs, especially the glands of the penis, which is where the structure responsible for the sensitivity of the penis is. About the issue of the erectile process, some indicate, won't I become erectile? After this, won't I have problems with the erection processes? And as I indicate, we always deal with the foreskin and the rest of the glands, which is responsible, and also the shaft with the structures which are responsible for the erectile process. Are usually not handled with. Thank you.
Let me ask you this. I mean, as you're talking and definitely, taking it back to, our community, the community that we live in, we make such assumptions because we don't have the knowledge. Now, before we get to where one can get circumcised, just take us through a step-by-step process on how to get circumcised.
Thank you so much, Awan, for that. Now, the process of access to male circumcision starts in the community, as you have indicated. That's where our target population is. So we start by sensitization in the community, which is done by our great colleagues, who we call the interpersonal communication agents. Those enable to disseminate the brief information about circumcision in the community, but also the other approach which we are using is the above line, like where we are now at the moment. We really disseminate about brief information about circumcision, and then whoever is interested in accessing this service, is able to move through to the facility, and at the facility we usually ensure that whoever comes through for the services, first of all, is handled with the utmost responsibility, such that we usually make whoever comes through feel comfortable. And then we go through the process of information dissemination through what we call the group education session. At this point, we really ensure we strengthen the information this person has picked in the community. And then we go through the customization of the counseling, where we usually align the information to the client. Remember, initially it was about gender information, but now we deal with the client. And then subsequently, we go through what we call the screening process. If a person has said, yes, I'm going through the procedure, you go through the screening process to see whether you are fit for the procedure. We know there are other conditions which may deter a person from getting the services. STIs, could be hypertensive, diabetes. Those are conditions we usually manage because we usually hand as a package. And then if it's fit, we go through the process of the consenting. Yes.
All right. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. That's a lot of information. And I have to say, for more information, look, we have all that information on our social media platforms as well as on our, on our website. It's just gone 11:24. We're gonna quickly, jump to yet another segment called the Partner Spotlight. Send those comments, send your questions. We'll definitely attend to them at the end of the show. 14962 is the SMS line, and you can send voice notes as well at +267 395 6962.
Gaune on Brunch with me, Monday to Friday, 9 to 12 p.m.
Before we jump to my second guest for today. All right, it's just gone 11:26. So definitely the BBC Minute is going to happen at the bottom of the hour, but we move swiftly along. Shout out to you, Swift. Now, today's theme is health focus. It is about safe male circumcision, or some of you might know it as voluntary medical male circumcision. Look at the doctor giving me that eye like, girl, what are you saying? All right. And we just spoke to CDC's Dr. Ronald Wandira about this. Now in the studio, we have another expert who is a guest for our partner spotlight segment. His name is Kabelo Kongwana. He's the project manager at African Comprehensive HIV/AIDS Partnerships, also known as ASHAP. Hi, Kabelo.
Well, thank you.
I have this thing of thinking that I know people. I almost said, hi, KB.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
Are you good?
I'm good.
All right. All right. Let's get straight into it. And, our conversation for today is centered around, safe male circumcision. But before we get to that, let me just allow you to introduce yourself, what you do and, the importance of safe male circumcision.
All right. Thank you. And, the listeners back home. My name is Kabelo Kongwana, just like it has been introduced. I work for ASHAP as the project manager, but currently managing the VMMC project, SMC. But just in brief, ASHAP was formed in 2000 as a public-private partnership between the government of Botswana and the U.S. private sector, and by that time when it was formed, was basically to support the government in responding to the HIV needs. Mm-hmm. So basically, we've been in this HIV ground for quite long, since 2000.
Yeah.
So now, as the program matured after treatment, because the government realized that we need to strengthen a lot in terms of HIV prevention, and this is where the male circumcision program came in as an add-on strategy, and that was introduced in 2009 by the Ministry of Health as an HIV prevention strategy. And since 2009, as ASHAP, we've been participating on the provision of voluntary medical male circumcision services. So as well, we've been around in SMC for a good number of years. And so basically on what do we do? We work with the community. We provide clinical services, and we would like to appreciate the PERFA and the U.S. Embassy for this opportunity and for the support that they continued to give to the citizens of Botswana to access voluntary medical male circumcision services. So we do have clinicians, trained clinicians in our public health facilities. Like Dr. Wandira was saying, that this is one of the services that are quite sensitive. We are dealing with sensitive parts here. And when we deal with those, we need to be very careful. And we do provide those services using the Ministry of Health guidelines, WHO guidelines, and PERFA guidelines in dealing with, as we provide the VMC services. So we are found in public health facilities. We use government public health facilities. I may give an example. You find our team in Bontin Clinic just across. You find our team in Blockweight. You go to Mulepolo, you find our team in Scottish, is in Mahalape Hospital, all over the nation. Actually, the program is all over the nation. Either you are in Kasane, you are in Kalahari South, you come into a facility to be able to be provided with VMC services. And we also have a program on the outreach services. And through this program, we are reaching out to the remote areas, just as farms and cattle posts, remote villages where they may not be having a daily access to voluntary medical male circumcision services. And the package is quite comprehensive, because we do provide those VMC services. We also provide STI screenings and treatment. We also do HIV testing services. So those that are HIV positive, if we are to test HIV positive on site, we make sure that we link you with our treatment and care partners for enrollment on ART. So basically, it's a network of organizations. And over and above that, we do work with the community structures. These are the courses. Before we get into a community, we have to go to the course. So basically that's what we do. And baruti, who are in schools, who are in workplaces. And I think there's something that I want to highlight with the workplaces, that I would like to urge the workplaces, the managers, the foreman, release men to come and access VNC services. And
it's a all hands on deck kind of situation.
Yes.
You know, I definitely, and I saw you laughing earlier on when I said to Doctor, you know, there's so many taboos that we hear. Men sometimes don't want to do it because they hear stories, like really crazy stories out there in the streets. What is like that the craziest thing that you've heard that sort of like deters men from coming in and getting circumcised?
You know, Mela, I think to start with, you are dealing with one of the most private, sensitive area in the what gives a man to say, I'm a man.
Yeah.
So some of the barriers that we've been talked to by Dr. Wandira, uncertainty, distrust, and pain. So those are some of the things that when men think about that part. So it takes a bit of a time for them to be able to decide whether should I go or should I not. So this continued education and the benefits and the assurance that if they come, they'll be well handled with care. It's quite critical. It's important to give that action.
I thought you'll talk about the Vaseline one, but it's all right. That's like the craziest one. Like what? Who does that? You know, it's just gone 11:30, and of course, next on our lineup, really exciting segment called Ask the Shaja. This is the acting ambassador. This is where you've asked all those burning questions for the acting ambassador of the United States Embassy to Botswana, Amanda Jobson. Of course, we'll do that on the other side of this.
Bringing the world to you. Power to engage your world. Gabza FM.
All right, it's just gone 11:34. If you've just tuned in, you've missed quite a lot, but we'll definitely take you through what is it that we're talking about today on the show. But right now, some of the burning questions for the acting ambassador of the United States Embassy to Botswana. So this is the first question for Her Excellency Amanda Jacobson. How many languages do you speak? What are they? Can you say hello in each of those languages? This is what she had to say.
Well, I speak Spanish and French. I have basic Nepali, enough to go off in the mountains and make sure that I get enough food and know which trail to follow. My goal at some point is to learn some Setswana, but I find it very, very difficult. My 3 older children used to learn Setswana when they were students at Westwood School, and they learned quite a few words, and they can also sing the Botswana national anthem in Setswana.
So why did you become a diplomat? What do you love most about your job?
Well, what I love most about the job is traveling, meeting new people, the ability to hone new skills and learn new policy areas. Diplomats are always forced to learn new things, which is humbling and exciting at the same time. For example, I've learned a lot about the Kimberley process and clean energy since I arrived in Botswana last year. Traveling to Botswana actually opened my eyes to becoming a diplomat in the first place. I first came to Botswana in 1990. My friend's father got a Fulbright scholarship at the University of Botswana as a math teacher, and so I was able to join them here for a month. We traveled to Machuti and Molipololi. My friend went to Maruapula School, and they lived in the village. We spent lots of time exploring Main Mall, the National Museum, and I'm from a really small town in Wisconsin and previously did not have lots of international exposure. Traveling to Botswana opened my eyes to the outside world, so here I am.
Gaone on Brunch with me, Monday to Friday, 9 to 12 p.m.
Nice one. I absolutely draw so much motivation from Her Excellency right there. And let me just move really swiftly along to somebody who's also motivated. Her name is Laune T. Desert. She's a young or youth empowerment activist and co-founder and executive director of Youth Minds Africa. She's also a Young African Leaders Initiative Yali alumni. Laune?
So much fun having me on the show.
Oh, it's Laune and Gaune. Nice. Right. I like it. All right. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us now. How's your Yali experience been like?
I did Yali 2017. I was still a university student at the University of Botswana. And I would say that Yali opened my eyes to the possibilities of who I can be as a young leader. And Yali is what actually introduced me to leadership. And after Yali, that's when I actually followed this journey of becoming a youth empowerment activist. That's when I co-founded my NGO called Young Minds Africa. So the experience was very beautiful.
Yeah.
It has allowed me to meet and network with other fellow young people from different parts of Southern Africa who continue to be in my network right now. We continue to collaborate on different programs despite the borders and despite being in separate countries. So it was a very beautiful experience that has shaped me into the person I am today.
Yeah, you must be so intelligent. I think you're like an 8 distinction, student. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Let's talk about, the Parliament program. What is it?
Okay, I am very excited about this program personally. I wish somebody should have thought of it before us so that I could actually participate in it. So the Model Parliament is a program that is designed to empower young women to take up space in leadership, governance, and politics. This program is currently supported by the U.S. Embassy under the AIEF fund. So this program, I'm collaborating with fellow alumni of the U.S. Embassy. I'm collaborating with Mpule Khetsi from Mandela, Washington, 2021. I'm collaborating also with the former Minister of Finance, Mebogolo Kenewendo, who is also an alumni of Mandela, Washington, and currently the patron of the program. So this program is designed to help young people who see themselves as future parliamentarians. It's supposed to take them through a training of what parliament is, what it means to be parliament, what it means to be a young woman with aspirations of going into parliament. How do you administer it? How do you run it? How do you stand for elections? And then after that training, that is going to take 6 weeks, we will take them to site visits. These site visits, they will visit various constituencies where they will meet with the MPs for that particular constituency, learn about the journey of the MP, learn about how a constituency is run and administered, learn about the issues that are dealt with at community and grassroots level, and how then do you take those issues to Parliament? How do you turn them into a motion? How do you turn them into an actionable policy?
Wow, talk about brilliance personified. How did this idea come about, and how far are you into this program?
All right. Young Minds Africa, that is the NGO that I co-founded with a few other fellows, develops programs like these. And we were looking into now branching into empowering young women. And when the grant came, we were like, this is a perfect opportunity to now introduce this beautiful project. I personally would love to see more young women taking space in the leadership and governance space. So this was a perfect opportunity to bring this program. And also looking at the representation of women in Parliament is very worrisome. Mm-hmm. More than 50% of them are specially elected. So you want young women to run. We want young women to show what we are capable of.
To get in the kitchen.
As women. Of course, of course.
Well, not literally.
Did I miss any other question?
No, you did not. As you're talking, I'm getting goosebumps because this is something that I'm very passionate about. Seeing women take up space, and especially politically. What is your end goal with this program? What do you hope to achieve with this grant?
All right. Before I go to that, okay. This program is actually open for young women between 18 and 26 only. And right now, as I speak, I have my team at Rail Park.
I feel 26 years. Can I still do it? I mean, inside, I feel like I'm 26 years old. Can I do it? Yes? No?
No. Unfortunately.
Okay, I'll just let them do it. All right.
Yes.
All right, continue.
What was that question?
What is your end goal with this program?
Yes. The aim is to see as many women and young women in Parliament as possible. So the goal is to have our 100 participants eventually making it to Parliament. So that is the dream, creating gender balance in Parliament.
Yeah.
So that is where we are going.
Before I let you go, though, are we seeing young women getting interested? Is there interest? Because I've seen this flyer, I don't know how many times on my WhatsApp statuses, and I love it. It's one thing, getting that advertisement from people, but on the other side, are we actually getting young people showing interest?
May I say I have an amazing marketing team on the program right now.
Shout out to them.
Yes, indeed. Right now, the applications are looking very good. We are very happy with the reception, not only from the young people, but also the support that we've been receiving from various organizations showing interest in the program itself. So it's looking very beautifully right now.
Yeah.
And 1st of August, the application process is closing. So you have this weekend to actually drop that application. Just go on our Facebook page and then click on the form link and then drop your application. If you have any questions, just drop by Rail Park now, this moment. We'll be there until 2 p.m.
It almost feels like I'm talking to a minister of something,
Yes.
Are you going to contest in 2029? Yes?
Not right now. And I don't know
Is it in the... Is it in the...
No.
Okay, all right.
For my job, I wish to remain politically unaffiliated.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that because the popular opinion is women can't debate, women can't run, and like you say, you don't get a lot of them at the Freedom Square actually selling themselves. You don't get a lot of them during these conversations actually convincing. So I really love what you're doing. Big up to you, Laune. Laune Dissett is an award-winning youth empowerment activist and change agent with more than 5 years of experience in the field. It's just gone 11:44 on the other side. I'm definitely taking your phone calls if you want to, ask the doctor, if you want to ask Kabelo, if you want to ask Laune, young people. Also encouraging you to call in and just ask her questions, like how she did it, how she's doing what she's doing. 14962 is SMS line, 3956962. That's our studio line. We're also available on WhatsApp at +267 395 6962. All right, 11:46 is your time. Just a couple of minutes before I say my goodbyes, but of course our good friends from the American Embassy are still here in the building. Wabile, hi.
Hey.
For a second, I thought you're not going to talk to me.
I almost didn't. I brought you great guests.
No, you did.
You
did.
know, sometimes you have to allow other people shine.
Can you shine every single Friday? You shine every single Friday. So what's up, ma?
No, I think today all I actually just wanted to talk about, because this is like education. So I wanted to come and talk about the yearly program. And so that's why I came with Laune Dissett here, because education is not only about getting a degree, master's and PhD. You can educate yourself in leadership and what she's doing. And I thought this is a great platform that I want young people and everybody to jump on. It is the YALI, which is the Young African Leadership Initiative. And within that, we have, brackets of programs. We have obviously what most people know as the Mandela Washington Fellowship, right? But we also have the YALI RLC, the Regional Leadership Centers, where you can actually go to South Africa on a free training, which is what Laune went through and is now an alum. But we also have the YALI network. So you don't actually you can join the YALI network and you can partake in the free courses that they have. You can even not miss opportunities like applying for the Mandela Washington Fellowship or applying for the YALI RLC, because it is out there for you. So for you to actually be a member of the YALI network, it's simple as just log on to the website, is yali.state.gov. YALI, YALI.state.gov, and then become a member, and all these things will be, you also can have these opportunities to learn and, meet other incredible but the one thing she didn't make mention of with this, model parliament that is currently running is that we are receiving applications, guys, and these guys are doing amazing work. Right now, we have about 144 applications received.
Nice.
So I know that they're aiming for 200 and plus. So you can imagine, and they're only and you're only asking for how many? About how many people are you going to select? Only 100.
Yeah.
So you can imagine from 200, and they're only selecting 100. How competitive this is.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to log in and just go in, right? So please make sure to visit the Young Minds Facebook page, because that's where the application form is, and I would love for you to be part of this, and I'll be seeing all of the 100 young leaders, women, Bomigele, Basadi.
We need to do this.
We're taking up space. Can we take up and own our space? So that's me for today. I'm only here about Yali.
Yeah.
Education it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to be in school all the time. Educate yourself. Even the people you surround yourself with can teach you one thing or two.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Ms. Wabile, Education USA Advisor Yali. I love that. And it looks like we don't have men. Can I say typical? asking questions about our topic for today, but we're gonna keep asking for them anyway, because this is something that is really important. I'm talking about safe male circumcision. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming through. Let's just start with you, Doctor. I don't know if it's possible for you maybe to share contact details, where you from. Yeah.
No, thank you so much. My contact details are, again, I'm working with the US Embassy, and my phone contact is 743-11-640. That is the number. You can easily reach out to me and ask more questions around the intervention.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. And to you, Mr. K, for if anybody wants to come to your offices, you did make mention of the fact that you are literally across the nation, but otherwise, if somebody wants to ask questions, interact with you before they actually make up their mind to come and actually do the same the safe male circumcision, how do they do that?
Well, they can easily they can get into our website, the ACHAP website. We have information on there, and some of the facilities that we are currently operating on. Even our Facebook, our social media platforms, we do have that information in it. And otherwise, they can call 3697-218. 3697-218. It's an office line. So whoever who calls it, then they will be responded
let me ask you this. There was a time when there was a school projects where small kids badira circumcision. Is it something for small people only, or even like grannies can come through and get circumcised?
Well, thank you for asking that question, and it's good. You're asking it at the right time. We are currently in the preparations, or the preparations for that campaign. It starts next week, service delivery. But we are, at the moment, we are in a period where we are phoning parents, asking for them to consent for their kids to come and consent for their kids to do the SMC. And I would love to urge all the parents who probably they may have been received a call from some of our team members to assist, to cooperate with our teams and assist in this. Yeah. So basically that program is ongoing, and otherwise, even if you are in a school campaign, even a parent, they could drop in, they will still be assisted. It's not like during this period is only for the young boys, but even those that are older enough, they could come in, drop in at our facility. Then it's a walking service.
All right, awesome stuff, Mr. Kabelo Makongwana. He was actually our partner spotlight today, CDC partner. Thank you so much. Last time, before I let you go, your contact details. Where do we get more information?
All right, awesome. Contact details 76604-864. That's my number. From 7:30 till 5. But I just also want to remind everybody that I talked of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. That is the program. It is opening again this year around August. So please keep your eyes on the ball and visit our Facebook page as the U.S. Embassy, and so that you don't miss the opportunity. But the greatest way for you not to miss it is if you actually become our yearly network member.
Yeah.
So log in, register, and then you'll get all the full details. You won't miss a thing because you get it first, even before we are able to put it up on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
So that's all I had to say.
Amazing stuff. So let's kala ra le bolela gore bona really the leader na bele re he opportunities we for. This is information that is for literally every single one of you. Thank you so much, guys. Let's do this again next week Friday between 11 and 12 o'clock as the Stars and Stripes show. America in Botswana happens every single Friday between 11 and 12. Otherwise, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm back again next week Monday between 9 and 12.
The Stars and Stripes show was brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.